Leading FBC News Tonight, Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama elected chair of International Sugar Council. Fijian tells his story as we mark World AIDS Day. And China Railway falls behind in meeting deadline for FNPF payment. Welcome to Weekend News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama has been elected chairman of the International Sugar Organization. The election came at the organization's 21st seminar in London today. Bainimarama has committed to doing everything possible to advance the cause of the global industry.
Bainimarama now leads the International Sugar Council, with 86 countries representing 97% of the world's sugar production. At the 42nd session, the Prime Minister was proposed as chairman by Brazil and seconded by India. He says the appointment is a great honor for Fiji and that the country will advance the cost of the sugar industry as well as the millions of people who depend on it. Acting Prime Minister Ayah Sayed Qayyum says the chairmanship is a testimony of the government's efforts to reform our sugar industry.
It does give the impetus further to carry out the reforms that are, imperative to ensure that the sugar industry in Fiji takes that step into modernity and to be able to ensure that we have sustained livelihoods from the sugar industry.
Fiji will host the 43rd session of the International Sugar Council in June next year. Sayed Qayyum says this will be an opportunity for Fiji to highlight some of its issues.
The meeting, as we mentioned, gives us the opportunity to showcase Fiji, gives us the ability to showcase all the reforms that are taking place in Fiji, but also to be able to collaborate and work in conjunction with other sugar-growing countries, perhaps with the same demographics as Fiji.
Bainimarama told the council in London that the sugar industry in Fiji was neglected, mismanaged and victim to political interference, self-promoting trade unionists and corruption. This, he says, is something that the government has worked hard to remove. Vosita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
Living with HIV and AIDS isn't easy. It's certain death and stigma that one won't be accepted by the community. As we mark World AIDS Day, 41-year-old Temo Sasao tells us what it's like to be HIV positive. Shireen Lata reports.
Temo Sasao found out he was HIV positive 5 years ago. His biggest problem then was not knowing what HIV and AIDS were and what he needed to do next.
That was the very first question that I asked the doctor. When am I going to die? When am I going to die? And after the assurance that there are treatments available, there are antiretroviral drugs available that I can take that can improve my health, that actually changed the way I look at life.
Sasao, being HIV positive, put a lot of strain on his family. But they pulled through the initial shock and have become his support and strength.
We had more communication and more discussions when they came to accept the fact that a member of the family is actually living with HIV.
Between 2007 and 2009, Sasao's health was really poor. He thought he was going to die. With proper medication, this man's still going strong and has a deeper appreciation of the gift of life and how little things can mean so much.
It was HIV that actually changed me, and it continued to change me for the better. The life that I used to live before, the attitude that I used to have before, the perceptions that I used to have before, it doesn't, it was rather destructive. But now I know that life is worth the living.
The theme for this year's World AIDS Day is Getting to Zero, Zero New HIV Infections, Zero Discrimination, Zero AIDS-related deaths. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
A 37-year-old caretaker of Suva has been charged with 8 counts of rape he allegedly committed on a 17-year-old student. According to police, the alleged incident occurred between the 1st and 30th of April last year at a school hostel. Police say the caretaker resides at the school. He will appear at the Suva Magistrates Court on Monday. A Chinese company caught in the FNPF's web is pleading for understanding as it's still trying to settle overdue contributions for its workers. The one-month deadline given to China Railway 5 by the Water Authority of Fiji expired yesterday. As Mika Longa reports, the authority had said it will review the contract of the company if it failed to meet the deadline.
China Railway 5 is contracted to upgrade sewage reticulation systems and have all homes in Samambula connected to the main sewer line to Kinoya. Now the company is under scrutiny for failing to deduct FNPF contributions for its workers dating back 5 years. FBC News first highlighted the issue which prompted the Water Authority to take decisive action and demand that the company pay up or ship out.
FNPF and our company need some time for the process. Initially, we have to submit the record of the payment first, and they need a few days to review and do the right calculations.
According to the company, it has already paid over $50,000 in FNPF contributions until June this year. This is for workers hired for the fencing of government towns and those currently working at Samambula. The company has promised to settle the remaining FNPF contributions by end of this month. King says he's instructed his officials to explain this delay to the Water Authority.
We hope the officers from the Water Authority and even the people from the public can give us some understanding now.
China Railway 5 doesn't see it being misunderstood. However, it admits its mistake, saying it is affecting their administration side of things.
We really move our main concentration to this issue, and now the progress of this thing is nearly completed. And we were trying our best to sort out this thing within a time limit. And then we want to move all the concentrations back to the project.
Mika Longa, FBC News.
Meanwhile, China Railway has admitted today that it's also working to pay FNPF contributions of workers hired for previous contracts. These were for projects including the construction of the Namosao Bridge in Ba. Manager Charles King says the company has promised to sort out this as well.
There were some documents already being sent back to China, and we have to talk to our head office to sending the statement of the record. But we already promised that this thing will be sorted out later.
Coming up, food vendors cry foul over unlicensed sellers at Suva Market. Welcome back here with FBC News. The acting Prime Minister, Ayaz Sayed Qayyum, highlighted key features of the 2013 budget at the Lautoka Chamber Forum this morning. Sayed Qayyum says the budget announcements in recent years have been consistent to enhance growth in the country. Christopher Chand reports.
Fiji is in many ways the hub of the Pacific, and the government wants the country to be the financial hub of the region through attractive taxes and tariffs. Companies which set up their regional or global head office here only have to pay 17% corporate tax.
Similar to what Singapore has done. And there's already, without giving out names, a major financial institution is looking at moving their regional head office from a developed country to Fiji, which is very, very good news.
Sayed Qayyum says construction companies are anticipating a major labor shortage in terms of trade skills, with a number of projects taking shape next year.
PH being built. You have got the Trend West, which is about a $34 million project being built on Danarao. The casino has been some delays, but is expected to start in January of next year. You also have FNPF announcing the Momi project recommencing now.
Although the government has made major tax cuts over the years, some still feel little is being done.
So I don't think we overtaxed. Of course, nobody probably would say that never want to pay tax, or that they would not mind paying tax. But I think at the end of the day, we have to understand the connectivity. We have to pay taxes to be able to get hospitals, roads, schools.
The private sector remains a pivotal part of the economy, and the government wants to enhance its involvement with issues faced by businesses. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Food vendors at the Suva Market are disappointed with illegal sales. They say people with roti parcels and other food are apparently killing business when times are hard already. Shireen Lata spoke to some licensed vendors today.
Some of these vendors have been here for the last 6 to 8 years. Business used to be pretty good in the beginning, but unlicensed sales are becoming a growing problem.
This is not the first time we have been going through all these difficult times, and we've been going to the council, but nothing has been done. I've been complaining to them since 2009.
According to the vendors, sales have dropped by as much as half-fold because people with roti parcels are able to sell cheaper.
The food is being sold here all the time, and we are not happy with it because our business has already dropped by making this road, and on top of that, people they come and sell in the market.
The Suva City Council says they have received such complaints, and the council's enforcement unit is strictly monitoring the area. Those caught selling illegally can have their items confiscated and end up facing the full brunt of law.
We don't know the hygiene part of things, how hygienically this food has been cooked from the homes, and in fact it is not, it is illegal for them to sell any cooked food in Suva. So like I said, we are looking at that.
People are advised to avoid buying food from unauthorized vendors. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
The annual Style Fiji fashion show gets underway this evening at Denarau. International personalities who will grace the event made a visit to the Nandi Hospital to see firsthand what the cause will be contributing towards. Christopher Chand reports.
Upcoming rugby league player Kane Evans, Super Rugby's Maratino Nemani and Australian model Rochelle Fox were among the celebrities visiting Nandi Hospital yesterday. For them, it was a humbling experience.
We're just grateful, especially all of us. We're just all grateful and thankful that we don't have facilities like this, but man, we're blessed, that's all I can say. Just trying to give back to the hospital.
Just amazing that next year hopefully all that money is going to do more amazing things, and it's so good to see the progression of the hospital, and it's good to hear like them talk about the plans, and they talk about with such enthusiasm, such passion, and they really want to get things done, which is amazing.
The poor state of Nandi Hospital saw the birth of Project Bulamai, which runs the annual Style Fiji fashion show to raise funds. A boost for the committee has been Nasoso Island pumping in $80,000 over 4 years.
Nandi Hospital really needs to come up to a much higher standard than it's at, and we recognised, we spoke about it, and we said we wanted to make a substantial contribution over the next 4 years.
All the excitement though is on tonight's show. Who will we get to see on the catwalk?
My wife, yes, me, no.
No. We're going to be enjoying the night.
Hopefully. We'll see what happens. Got rehearsals today, so we'll just see what happens.
Oh, that's apparently the goal. That's why I'm here. I am just praying because I haven't worn heels like the ones I'm going to be wearing on the catwalk for years, so I'm hoping I just don't fall. So hopefully you don't see me fall. And so that's, yeah.
The project has already given Nandi Hospital $300,000 worth of equipment and facilities this year. There's a promise of much more to come. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Suva Private Hospital now has a state-of-the-art ultrasound machine. According to Chief Radiologist Dr. Chonetani Kama, the machine can be used to diagnose any abnormality in the human body and can also detect muscle injuries, something that's likely to assist sports people. The hospital says with this machine, it can now offer accurate and detailed information for doctors and patients. Coming up in sports, Suva Volleyball threatens to pull out of Buladar Championship. And Cricket Fiji eyes spot in World T20. Leading FBC Sports tonight, the Digicel Fiji Sevens team will take on France in the first Cup quarter-final this evening in the Dubai Sevens, with the hope of ending the 13-year drought in the Arabian Desert. Fiji started their Dubai campaign with a 14-0 win over Spain in an error-riddled game. In their second game, Scotland exposed the gaps in Fiji's defence as we managed a 22-14 victory. Fiji only scraped past Kenya 14-10 in their last game. Defending champs England and South Africa didn't make it into the Cup quarters. You can catch live commentaries of the quarterfinals on Bula FM from 7:50 p.m. And fans at home have mixed feelings on Fiji's performance in the pool stages in Dubai. We asked people on the streets for their thoughts on the Dubai Sevens so far.
They did very well, but they could do better. It was a good game. the boys really give their best, and those teams were not easy teams. So they've been tested on the defense against Kenya, and it's good. So better game against France. So hopefully we'll reach the final.
Very good because that's the first few games and the weather is not good.
I didn't like it because, you know, plenty errors they were making, and I hope they're going to play well for the quarterfinal against France. I hope they win it.
Oh, they performed well. It was a good game. I still think they should have had more points.
Suva Volleyball is hoping that organisers of the Vuladha Championship change their mind and allow them to field 6 teams in the competition. Even after a meeting with the organisers Rewai Volleyball and the National Federation, things are still at a deadlock. Shalvin Chand has more.
Suva pulled out of the prestigious volleyball tournament after organisers Rewai Volleyball refused to allow Suva to field 4 men's and 2 women's teams in the competition. Even after meeting last night, nothing has been resolved.
Suva Volleyball had a meeting with the Rewai and Fiji Volleyball last night, and there was nothing confirmed last night, and the Rewai president and vice president, they told me that they'll call me if there's a change in the meeting last night, or might be sometimes this week.
According to Suva Volleyball, they can field as many teams as they want, but if organisers don't change their mind, Suva will boycott this year's Vuladha Championship.
We're thinking ahead of what we're going to do on the day we are going to have the Vuladha. We might have something better than the Vuladha, and we might have to invite clubs from outside, and I think our prices will be higher than their price.
Fiji Volleyball's Ilyasa Raketekete says the decision is up to the tournament organisers, in this case Rewai. If this impasse is not resolved, future tournaments could also be jeopardized. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
The national cricket team isn't going to the New Zealand qualifiers just for exposure, but to make the 2020 World Cup in Dubai. Shalvin Chand spoke to national coach Choeli Matayawa, who is leaving no stones unturned in preparing for the February qualifiers.
Unlike yesteryears, cricketers are now feeling the heat as the team is being drilled to grab the opportunity to qualify for their first 2020 World Cup. And fitness is an important aspect of the game's shortened code.
Concentrate on fitness because we are playing 2020 games. This is a very fast game because it's 2020. We need fitness, the endurance, speed and flexibility.
The coach believes Fiji has high chances of winning the qualifiers.
We have a big chance to win that tournament because the only rival is our counter friend in Papua New Guinea. We most used to play them there. We beat them, they beat us. Best teams will win that tournament.
The local 2020 competition has just started and will have national reps involved in the game week in and out.
Weekly competitions start every Saturday after our test. Every boys go back to their club and performs. They performed well last week. I'll see this how they go this week.
The national cricket team's task doesn't end in New Zealand. The bigger goal is to improve ranking in the 50-over game in the Division 7 World Cup in Ghana. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
Chandu Umaria says he hasn't gone back on his word to organise celebrations to mark Suva's sporting achievements this year. Umaria says he's ready to host a party once everyone else is ready. Shalvin Chand has more.
2012 has been Suva's for the taking, with titles in rugby, soccer, netball and hockey. Plans for a day of celebrations last month didn't eventuate.
True, and I'm not trying to, not getting the cooperation of the sporting bodies, and some people who have I've approached to come and assist me to organize this grand celebration that I want to do.
The Suva City Council is hoping to get all sporting bodies together so that celebrations are all inclusive.
I'm trying my best to contact them and see we all can get together and celebrate a march into Suva and honor all these people who have won soccer, cricket, rugby, hockey and so forth.
So far, only one sport has confirmed they'll be marking their victory. For the rest, it's a waiting game.
for the Super Rugby, yes, will be. I must thank the Super Rugby, the chairman and the entire president and committee members. We are planning to have a celebration for the success and win of the Super Rugby team. I think it's planned for the 13th or 12th.
The SCC is hoping to use the celebrations to inspire teams to reach for sporting glory in the future. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
Taking a look at the weather, and a trough of low pressure lies to the northeast of the group and is bringing rain to most of Fiji. There were showers over most places today. Lambasa, despite the rain, had a high of 33 degrees today. The rest of Fiji was also in the low 30s. Tomorrow there will be sunny mornings in the west and in Lambasa, turning to afternoon or evening showers. For Monday, expect cloudy periods with some showers over the eastern and interior parts of the larger islands, afternoon or evening showers elsewhere. And now looking at our top stories today. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama has been elected chairman of the International Sugar Council. A man's been charged for allegedly raping a student in a school hostel. And China Railway asked for more time to come through on FNPF payments. Do take part in our FBC opinion poll. The question, should the All Blacks play test matches against Fiji? To answer, visit www.fbc.com.fj. That's all from FBC tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, good night.